The important thing for us now in the first team level is that now we've got a Div 3 licence. So that allows us to get the senior development phase going for the rest of the group. The second important thing after that now is now the location for us. That's massive. And that then leads on to the academy. And then after the academy is now you're talking about a full-fledged football club, which we're talking about we didn't have, was backwards, and now we're talking about we're really going that way. So now we can see a future of a puzzle. The big thing is for the academy, I think we touched on this before, is making sure you've got a good pathway for players, and having the Div 3 licence, Div 2, is the pathway so important, especially in a place like the UAE. They have many academies, but there's no clear pathway for players. We found as a group of collective of owners is that everybody that does have this academy situation, it's a glorified babysitting service. We don't want to do that. We want to make a change. And we believe that now is the right time to do that. And again, football takes time. We're now, would say, we're still in phase 1 for what we're trying to do as a football club. We've got 5 phases to go through. The big thing for us, again, like we spoke about with the first team, is exit strategies to taking players to different places. But again, with the kids in the academies, is now creating a pathway that is the player good enough to stay with us as academy? But if he's that good, we don't really want to keep the player here. The reality is you want to get that player going to Europe, to go into different places. There is case studies in the UAE of young players, 12, 13, 14, going to top European teams. If they're good enough and we create that success story, then that's fair play to us, and that's what we want to do. I think it's 2 different stages, because if you look at academy where you're at under 12s, under 13s, you look at, say, that age, you look in 2 groups, right? If you're in that age group, you're now talking about, can I be really good in a Falcons academy that these guys can now get me across to a European team or to a big team somewhere else outside of the UAE? That's the reality. Then if you're now in the next stage where you're 16, 17, 18, you're coming into the senior pathway, sort of on that academy stage, going into the senior pathway. Now we're talking about giving them a future here and then still moving them on but at a later stage and developing them. And that's the important thing for us is what does the success story look like from Falcons? What do we produce? What is the exit strategy? Where does that player end up? Where is the case study for that player to leave here and go to Europe, to go to America? At what stage do they go? In reality, if some players are here 23, 24, 25, it's too late in Dubai. We don't want that situation. We want to develop from our academy that, in reality, we're getting these players out at 12, 13, 14. They're good enough to leave. The ones that are not, we maybe take a little bit more time to develop. And at 16, 17, they're with us in the first team and then we move them on. I'm going to give you a contradiction here because it's just factual. You'll see many kids at 8, 9, 10, they're world beaters. Every single person wants them in football. And at 13, 14, 15, they're not in football no more. What we need to understand is the parents is the service that we're providing in terms of the coaching. What we're trying to do, we're trying to develop your son. We're trying to make your son better. We're trying to improve them and then take them on. People at 8, 9, 10, if they're good enough now to come in the Falcons Academy and they're saying that Man United want them, they don't need to come to us. This is the reality and we have to be realistic. But if they're coming to us and we know that that kid does have something to go to Manchester United, maybe it's a 6-month phase, maybe it's a 3-month phase, maybe it's a 12-month phase. That's what we're going to offer you to say, right, we'll get him to that stage, but now you give us our child in your hands. Look, previously we wasn't here, so we had a lot of players in the building that's been there 2-3 years. And it's time for change with all the stuff that we've got going off the field with the academy, the third team, the senior pathway, a lot of things going on. So now we're building a fresh slate. So in normal circumstances in football, that's going to take a bit of time. It's going to take us time to do that, but we still hope to build a team that's going to fight for the championship. And maybe it's a slow start. It's normal because you're now putting 25, 35, 45 people together that's never been together. Maybe the first 2-3 months of the season is slow, but the second part of it is good. We need to be prepared for that as a football club. It's important that this season we build a team. Last season we had good players. It's a complete different in football. Yes, we had good individual players, but we didn't have a team. And now the structure's changing and how we recruit in that sense to build a team that the coach is able to coach that, which is John Joe. And that's why in this instance of what we're doing, yes, it's going to be an influx of a load of new players. Yes, they're going to be talented players, but we're going to have a team that maybe it's normal. You're not going to maybe start the season at the end of August on fire. Maybe October, November, December, you start to come in the race and you finish strong. And that's the reality of it. The responsibility, like Rab's got a big part in our dressing room for his character and for the experiences that the players can lean on. So on the inside of the dressing room where he is very important. But again, going back to the coaching stuff, is so important that the message that they give to these players is the players are like sponges. They're able to give that information to them and the players absorb all of that. Because you're talking about John Joe's played how many Premier League games? Played for Liverpool, played for Swansea, played for Newcastle, played for big teams. You're talking about Danny Simpson, that's won a Premier League. He's played at Manchester United, how many Premier League games? All of these top players that they've been around, they can always give that information, and no one understands in football. It doesn't mean I have to sit down and talk to a player for 10 minutes to teach him something. I can teach him something in 10 seconds on a football pitch, just by 2 words or just by 2 actions. And the players, it's so important to create that environment that the players are willing to learn and listen, to absorb all of that information, because it's a process. You can't teach somebody the knowledge that they have in the space of a season. Impossible. It'll take time, but you can give them maybe 5, 10, 15%. If you can give them that over a course of a season, for sure these players will be better. First things first is his timekeeping. Right, no, see, look, Rav, in the group, look, sorry to say, in the group, we'll again have a lot of young African players. So sorry to say, they search for their culture. So Rav's probably the closest person to their culture in the dressing room. So he's going to be like the bigger brother there. So when you're talking about a bigger brother is leading by example all the time. Every single day and everything they're doing. Every training session, every gym session, every time the players see him, they're looking at him like sponges. And especially being in a new group where there's new players everywhere, it's completely different to last season. The last 2 seasons, everybody knows each other. Now you're talking about fresh wood. It's something completely different. So that Rav knows that, but that, again, it's going to take him time to be in that position as well, because he's coming to an age where he's later now, and now he needs to understand the responsibilities that he needs to give to the others. I think it gives us a great niche, because you're talking about a team in the 3rd league and the 2nd league. So again, the players that have come in with some great scalp at A team might be very fantastic and actually too good for 3 and 2. So then they might leave directly. Then you might have a player that takes a little bit longer. I think generally overall, there's only one success story. Is at the end of it, there's success for the player, because at the end of it, the player's either with us for another season or the player moves on. So I think it's only a win-win in that situation. For me, coming in, seeing it last season, it was clear that we needed to break up this predominantly French-speaking. And the reason that is because you're bringing a lot of young African players that are coming along, and the whole dressing becomes it. So then now we've come with the idea that we want to start bringing in maybe 5, 6, 7 South Americans, just to basically break up that one way of speaking in the dressing room and bring everyone a bit more connected, because you find in that instance that the dressing room becomes in that one way. So it becomes in a French African style. We want to be more diverse as a football club, and not just only be French Africans that we want to sell. We want to be able to sell all different types of players, and you have to start that from the ground up. I think it's important, look, the reality is it's important to understand we're in a league now of 18 teams, so it's gone up now. I can tell you as a football man, there'll be 12 teams inside that say they want to get promoted. It's just fact. But it's how do you want to get promoted? What is your process? What is your recruitment strategy? What is your strategy to get promoted? It's easy for us to say words to say we want to get promoted. Everybody says it. But now is what is our structure to carry that through? And this is why we've said we wanted to come with a clean slate and have a clear structure in how we build the squad, because that's only going to give us more fighting chance to make that happen. If we get that correct, we're going to make mistakes naturally as a football club. As long as we get 75-80% of that correct in the summer, we're going to be in good stead to get promoted.